Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about They Shall Not Grow Old. And this movie came out in 2018, and it's directed by Peter Jackson. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and if you've been keeping up with my channel at this point at least, I normally don't really talk about documentaries all that much. I think I've talked about the Mr. Rogers one, Won't You Be My Neighbor, and I think that's it up until this point, but anyways, I thought I'd add another one to the list, that being They Shall Not Grow Old, because I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And it's basically about World War One, and just focusing on the people who served in the war, and giving you all this background information about everything that happened. And it was very interesting, and I was actually surprised at how much footage they had to work with, and it was very interesting from that perspective. And just watching some of these things just unfold, and sure, it can be what you would expect from any war film or story, but with it being a documentary and it being based on real people, and these people are not being portrayed by actors, I think that gives it a different perspective. And there are a bunch of narrators narrating the whole film, and it was always interesting to see everyone's perspective on the Great War, and what was going on, and everyone just serving the war because that's just what you did, and it was basically just simpler times, and you did as you were told, and you didn't really question anything. That stuff was very interesting to me. And the ending to the film, not the actual ending, but towards the end of the film, I also found that to be really interesting. It was coming back from the war and exploring that a bit. And this movie doesn't really overstay its welcome too much. It's only an hour and a half, and I didn't really feel the runtime. And I do have to admit, I kind of had a bit of trouble paying attention to the film at a couple points, but that was just because I was tired, just having worked a really long day, and I was I was struggling to pay attention to what was going on because I was just exhausted. But I do feel as though I got a good experience out of it when I was able to rest up, just take a little break, and get right back into it. So apologies if I'm not super ecstatic about this movie. I did think it was good, and I have seen this movie once before, and I just never reviewed it. But rewatching it, it wasn't an experience that blew me away. Watching it a second time, I was yeah, that was good, that worked well, and there wasn't anything new that I got out of it this time while watching it. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. It's always thoroughly enjoyable, and there were a couple points where I thought it was funny. There were points where it was sad and horrifying at points, and this movie doesn't really shy away from the violence, and really gives you an understanding of what it was like to be in the Great War, and all that stuff was interesting to me, and it really does make you feel like you're actually there at points. And I did think the music in the movie worked well. Not my favorite thing about the movie, but it wasn't inappropriately used at any point, at least from memory. And I did some of the choices in the movie, and I'm not going to say what those were because I don't want to spoil anything. Eventually the movie is well, not shot, but they colorize the movie, and I was oh, that's interesting. And I do feel as though putting it in color had a purpose, and there's lots of interesting things that the movie talks about, and that's about all I have to really say about this movie. There isn't too much to say, and there wasn't anything that was offensively bad about it, and I don't know how much of it is accurate, so I can't really comment on that side of the conversation, sadly. But the way it was presented in the movie, nothing felt fake. Like, it was like, oh, I can believe something like that happened. There wasn't anything that was like so far out there that it was like unbelievable. That's just how I feel about it, and I would recommend that you check this movie out. I think it's great, and it's entertaining, enjoyable, and hits the emotions that it's trying to get at. So check it out once you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give They Shall Not Grow Old an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of They Shall Not Grow Old, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Miami Vice. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.